Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. Today we're going to talk more about the Dubois County Museum and a special art display that they have going on. Joining us in the studio is Shirley Ray. She's the Executive Director of the Dubois County Museum. Shirley, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, the Dubois County Museum we think of for history.
Correct.
But now you have an art show.
We do.
And it's short-lived. I mean, it's only until October.
One of our temporary exhibits, yes.
Yes.
So special opportunity, we like to call that.
Okay.
So we are featuring art from our collection, but we also have art loaned by local artists. And our youngest artist is 14, so
Okay.
we're very excited about that. And it'll be on display for probably a few months into the fall, most likely. Into October is what we're planning at the moment, yeah.
And it's at the Dubois County Museum, but where physically in the museum is it?
Everywhere.
Is it throughout the museum?
Yes,
Okay.
it's spread throughout the museum. So we kind of divided it by the elements of art. So art appreciation, so things you may have learned in school at some point about line and structure and variety and emphasis and all that sort of stuff. So it's kind of like a mini art lesson. So we used our displays as the context of each piece. So you get to learn a little bit more about the elements of art, and you get to see the piece in position and context with an exhibit, which changes its kind of perception.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me an example. Like.
Okay. Well, we have this beautiful piece by Jerry Baum. It is like a winter scene, so it's kind of focusing upon a piece of tree with the snow on it and everything, and it's sitting in our village in one of the shops. So you can see that piece in the shop, and you can see how like the implied lines work, you know, how it kind of reflects what's in the shop. So the directions that you see, the visual presentation of it, where it'd look very different if it was hanging in an art gallery. You know, it would look different.
Are these going to be like little hidden gems, and you got to kind of like you have to go on a search for them, like a treasure hunt?
Honestly, yeah, we do a lot of scavenger hunts. For this one, we've labeled them all with like bright label, you know, like a bright fluorescent kind of label with ours name. So you just kind of walk through the museum and you look for the yellow, and that's the exhibit. And then there are little moments here and there of specific artists that are quite obvious that that's a special exhibit. Our normal cases that we do special exhibits in.
So this is another reason to go to the museum on a regular basis.
Indeed.
And not just going, we go once a year. No,
Yes,
you need to go often
you
because
really
you're doing
need
something
to come
different.
2 or 3 times if you're going to see all the new stuff. Because we regularly do like quarterly new things. This year we just happen to do every month because of the whole pandemic restrictions. So this art thing's the first time we've ever done art, to my understanding, as far as featuring it. It's always been on exhibit kind of in a subtle way, but now we're really calling attention to it.
Well, but there will be new pieces that have never necessarily been on display.
Yes, new pieces that have been in storage and pieces on loan that we don't own that people are giving us just for the art show, and then they'll take them back. So private pieces that they have loaned are also on exhibit.
So you have a lot of things in storage. Why do you have things in storage and not on display?
Well, typically 10% is all you ever see of a museum collection. 90% is usually in storage. Our ratio is a bit higher. We're about 20% on display. So we have over 50,000 items.
Wow.
And even though we have a large space, we do not have, nor do typical museums, enough space to show everything. So we rotate out. And some items can't live on exhibit. The light's too bad, the temperature, the humidity would cause damage. So you do have to rotate in general in the museum field.
Well, that's good to know for people to understand why sometimes you don't see everything that the museum has, or that you bring things out. A good reason is it causes people to go to the museum multiple times to see all that you have.
Yes.
This display will be going till October. What's it called? The Dubois County Museum Art Show?
An Artistic View. It's called An Artistic View.
And this is included as part of the price to go into the museum because it's spread throughout.
Cost. So members are free, and it's typically $5 for adults.
The art that you see, is it only paintings? Is it only drawings?
It is all of the above. Mostly paintings and drawings, but there's some watercolor, and then there's ceramics, specifically Tom Schum's ceramic art. So if you're familiar with Tom and his work, we do have a special exhibit from his family of some of his pieces that I don't know if people have seen them or not, but they're pretty remarkable, pretty amazing. And then there's a little biographical kind of explanation and some images of Tom in his teaching capacity and making pottery and things like that. So there's a special moment to Tom Schum as well in our art exhibit.
Because he did a lot of the murals?
Yes, he did a large percentage of murals. He and his daughter, and they came in when we lost our original mural artist had died. So they came in and finished up, and he did all of the murals. for our kids' rooms, for the village wraparound, the play yard, behind the cabin. He did all of those. Oh, the wildlife room. So
A little bit of
we have a lot
Wow.
of Tom's art in the museum.
And let's talk about the murals a little bit.
Sure.
Pretty much every township or town or city in Dubois County has a mural on the wall, which is significant to that town.
Indeed.
This is this unique in a museum to have something like this, the way that's set up?
It is because of the biographical nature of the exhibit. So each community township chose what they wanted, and then the artist kind of went from there. And they feature mostly the architecture and the sort of physical landscape of the township. So they tried to consolidate into the mural the important highlights. And each structure has an explanation. So some of the structures no longer exist or didn't exist when the artist did the mural. So they had to look at images from our collection. They had to do archival research. And then that interpretation helps visitors today understand what it did look like, and it helps people remember who did, manage that business or, went to that store, that sort of thing. We also were able to take those murals and put them in our traveling exhibit. So if you haven't made it to the museum, and it doesn't seem likely, if you go to one of your local libraries, when the exhibit's there, you can use a touch screen and learn about the murals and read every single label from it in a virtual experience.
And you can also can't you buy postcards of the murals?
Yes,
okay.
We do have postcards, and we're working on other kind of products that are related to specifically the county history. So like if you are from Holland, we have like a flour sack towel product in our store. We have aprons from other communities and things like that. So using the artifacts to kind of remind people about their heritage.
So at the museum now, not only will you see a little bit of history,
Yes.
but you can become culturally aware of the art from the area.
Indeed, yes. We're expanding our interpretation into art, yes.
How and what sort of art do people give to the Dubois County Museum?
Typically, we have a lot of architectural drawings, so images of the mill, the Eckert Mill, things like that. We have a few art teachers from the community who, taught art for a number of years and contributed their pieces. And then we have like images that were drawn based upon a certain location in the community or something, notable. So they're mostly kind of history focused, but we do have a few pieces from other artists that are sort of atmospheric in a way. So.
And this display will be going until October, so you
Yes.
need to go. Some of these are up all the time, but as you mentioned,
Yes.
some are only for this short period
Right.
To go and see the museum.
Right, and we relocated. We had a hallway of art, and we relocated all of that art. It's very hard to see art in a hallway, so that has been redistributed throughout the museum, and then some of those pieces will probably stay in their new location. Other pieces go back into storage or back to the owner who loaned it. So.
Well, oftentimes I think we think of museums as being old and plain, and you go once, and that's really all you
Yeah,
need to
that
go
is-
because you've seen everything. But
Yeah,
that's not the
common
case.
theme, right?
Yes,
So
that's really not the case.
We're not
Right.
static. It does change, and we have so many items on display that you can come every day and still see something new. So there's that aspect as well. But even moving things around or changing things or reinterpreting them, we're doing a lot of reinterpretation now. And history does change. It's not static. So keeping up with that is kind of part of our mission as well.
So if you are planning to go to the museum multiple times, you then want to get a museum membership.
Yes, you do. They're extremely affordable, depending on what level. So we have a family level, we have an individual level, and that way you can come anytime. You also get museum store discounts. You get 10% off of all your purchases. And going forward, ticket sales and things like that, there's going to be a member price. So you'll have discounts in the future as well.
Okay.
And you can shop online as well. So
Well-
anyone can, but members can too.
Yes, all right. So is anything else you'd like to add about the art display is going until?
Just, try to make it in, because this is a unique opportunity. We'd like to do it every year, but, volunteers get tired.
Right.
So I'm not sure we can handle an art show every year. So it's an opportunity. You might as well take advantage.
But it's good to know that the Du Bois County Museum is almost always fresh, which we don't think of with the museum, but you're changing
Correct.
things all the
Yes,
time.
it's
And always have
always
some special
changing.
thing going on,
Yes.
almost on a monthly basis, right?
Definitely
Is it-
this
okay.
year on a monthly basis. And we're going to kick up our programming again in the fall.
Okay,
So
yes.
you'll be able to come in and enjoy an experience as well as just the artifacts.
All right, Shirley, thank you very much for coming in and talking with us.
Thank you.
We hope you've learned something about the Du Bois County Museum and have enticed you to go to visit the Du Bois County Museum. The hours of the museum are?
Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 2, Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 1 to 4.
All right. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you for watching WJTS Inform. We're local people watching local people.